introduced me by what disease I had. That would have seemed more appropriate, right? COVID, are you serious? They all got COVID? Like, I feel like that needs to be discussed. Like, just, were they together? Like, didn't it sound like they were all together having some secret show outside of this? And they were just like, yeah, okay. All right, you guys are kind of tight still. All right, we gonna get there together. I don't want to rain on your parade, and I do an annual show with the Lupus Foundation for lupus. Other comics. I don't know if you're going to see her, one of the comics that's on the show, that's usually on the show because she might be one of the people that has COVID. I don't know. Man, COVID just seems so outdated. It's like, we still doing that? Like, and I want to know what other was. Like, he was like autoimmune and other, like, is that like cancer? Like, are we introducing other things in here? Are we like letting type 2 diabetes in here? They're technically autoimmune as well. The sugar, did somebody get upset when I said cancer? Was that too dark? Honestly, the thing about having autoimmune disease, like, I think when I first was diagnosed, a lot of times people would give me the, at least it's not cancer, which is very fucked up to say, right? It's like, thanks, thank you, I think. But the difference is, like, autoimmune, I gotta live with this shit. Like, it's not something I can ever get rid of. It is just a constant in my life. At least cancer, you know, they might be able to cut out your titty. That sucks, but I mean, it's gone. Oh yeah, this is good. This is, I don't know if y'all gonna be on my same level of humor yet. So check back again. How many of y'all actually have autoimmune? Okay. All right. How many of y'all are still sad about it? Like, we not reached the point. I was in the ER yesterday because I was having pains in my back, new pains. Because as you know, having an autoimmune, like, pain starts, but you're accustomed to the pain that you're accustomed to have. You're just like, oh, this is what it is. I need to chill out for a second. Right? When you start having new shit, because I've had lupus for almost 10 years now. November 9th will make 10 years. When you start having new pain, it's like, oh, fuck, like, what's going on now? So I started having severe back pain from last week, and I was like, oh no, I started Googling everything from like, is there like an STD that you can get that causes back pain? Because like I had that some real questionable shit like the week before. Like I couldn't figure out what it was, and eventually got to the point where I was like, I need to take my ass. No, I actually went to my doctor first yesterday morning, 9 o'clock appointment, and she was just like, yeah, we're not sure if this is a blood clot or a heart attack, so you should go to the ER. And I was like, cool. She was like, how are you gonna get there? I was like, the train. It's just like, I'm not, it's rush hour, bitch. I don't know what you think this is. This heart attack gonna have to wait. And also figure if I, end up having a heart attack on the train, the police would come and that would still be a lot cheaper than Uber. So, so I trained my way, to the hospital, and I actually picked the hospital that my good friend is in because she just got gallbladder surgery on Monday. She also has an autoimmune condition, and she put me on. I went and saw her, and I was like, this is a nice hospital. So when I was told I had to go to the hospital, I was like, I'm gonna go to that hospital in case they have to admit me. Like she had it was NYU, Lag Tish. This bitch had a view of the ocean, the Pepsi sign. I was like, oh, I hope they check me in. This is a lot nicer than my view in Brooklyn. I can go for a few days in this hospital. I can do that. That will work. I don't know. It's some of the things like before I was diagnosed with lupus, I had no clue what it was. Like the only thing I knew about lupus was Tony Braxton has it. I was like, well, that bitch looks good, so we're gonna be all right. Probably not the best way to judge a disease. And then I found out that Seal also has it, and I was like, oh no, we need to get rid of this shit. No shade. He looked like he'd been kissed by several roses. It's fucked up. But Seal also has lupus. It's not the same type of lupus I have. He has discoid lupus, which affects the skin. I have lupus that just fucks me up from the inside. That's it. And it's hard at times because I don't look like I'm somebody with a chronic illness. And I went into the ER, and since it's enough of y'all in here that fucked up too. This is my trick in the ER. You always say you're having chest problems, they will get you right the fuck in. Did y'all know that? Dead ass. Dead ass serious. So yeah, I was having back problems. I said I was having back problems, but it was radiating to my chest. Not a lot, but you know, a little touch. So I was watching a bunch of people very upset with me yesterday because I got, you know, triaged a lot quicker. And, you know, again, I was in there looking like this, fabulous, just like, all right, I don't need a bed, I got it, I can walk. Not a good look. But, yeah, being in the ER, it's fun because you just get to see all the crazy come in. It's a lot of crazy. The later you go, my husband, he's a cop, and sometimes he tells me that he has, like, escort, like, prisoners to the hospital, and they get real wild in there. So anytime I go to the ER, I'm looking for, like, a show. There wasn't much of a show. One lady did come in and she kept on, she screamed for 45 minutes about her back, and I felt pretty bad that I had to sit next to her. So there was that, and there was another lady who had diabetes and was very loud about all of her medical conditions on speakerphone, and I was like, wow, we're doing this in here. Not really fun times in the ER, but I have to make the best of what's happening in there. What did they find out? Nothing. I don't have a blood clot or a heart attack. I'm just experiencing new lupus pain. So yay me. I don't know if that means I'm winning. So, you know, I didn't really prepare to talk all about lupus, and I feel like y'all don't need, Ian just told me it's fine to talk, I can talk about other shit. I got married during the pandemic. I needed health insurance. Thank you. Thank you. We're also going through a divorce right now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all got real quiet on that part. Like, is she serious? Yeah, dead ass serious. The reality of it is I don't think my husband realized how much work it is having a wife with an autoimmune condition. Yeah, he told me I was mean, so I asked for exact examples on when I was mean. And all of them correlated with flares. I was like, oh, motherfucker, I was sick, not mean. And he was like, what? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel too. Are people allowed to bring dogs in here? I don't have ADD, but I feel like I do whenever I'm on stage and other noises are going off. So my husband, he's actually, we got engaged before COVID kicked off, and we planned on having a big extravagant Hindu wedding. My husband is Hindu. I was brainwashed Catholic my entire life, and I was very excited about having this Hindu wedding. One day my husband comes to me though, and he goes, hey, my uncle died, so we're gonna have to wait a year before we get buried. And I was like, oh, I ain't really fuck with your uncle like that. Were we inviting him to the wedding? And this is when I found out that in Hinduism, if somebody in the family dies, you gotta wait a year of mourning before you do any fun shit. And apparently wedding falls in the category of fun shit. Now I'm biracial, my mom's black, my dad's Indian, so that means I'm black. So I didn't really know what was happening, right? Because I was not raised like that, right? But I didn't want to be disrespectful of his culture, but I also know I need to fact check to make sure he wasn't trying to get out of it. So I was like, well, where am I going to find some Indian folks, some Hindu folks to ask to see if this is a legit tradition? And you know, I couldn't ask his family; those are the only ones I really knew because you know they're probably in on it. So I was like, we're going to find some unbiased Indian people to ask, is this whole thing a real tradition? And that's when I decided that, you know, every time I hopped in my Uber, I'd be like, quick question. You know, after I got enough of a sample population, I found out it's a legit tradition, it's an antiquated tradition. But the other thing I found out, more important, is that if somebody else dies during that year of mourning, the year starts all over again. Yeah, no time served, we just back to day zero. So pretty much my entire engagement was me just trying to keep people alive. That was it. Just checking in with people, how you doing, how you feeling, how's the gout. Also an autoimmune runs on both sides of our family. I wasn't sure how his mom felt about me. She has type 2 diabetes, and every time I saw her, she was eating cake. So I was like, ooh, she really don't want black in her family, huh? You are committed to that. I think I'm the only person of color in this room. That's great. Looking around like I'm telling all these Indian jokes. Anyway, so we got married. My husband asked me to convert to Hinduism, and I was like, absolutely, that's a way better religion than Catholicism. You know, they got monkeys and colors and elephants and shit. We ain't got none of that. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Plus, it was much easier for me to become Hindu than for him to become a Catholic. Because to become a Catholic, some of you guys are nodding your head, you know how extensive that process is to convert, right? For those who don't know, it's a lot. First, you have to get a sponsor. Somebody's going to vouch for you. Then you have to go to meetings. Then you have to let the priest touch you. It's like all these things that have to happen in order to do that. And at that time, not only did I love my husband, but I liked him, not so much anymore. So I didn't want to put him through that. So I was like, I'll go ahead and become Hindu. And so I asked him, I was like, what do I have to do in order to become Hindu? And he's like, it's easy. All you have to do is just decide you're Hindu. I said, oh, like in my heart? And he was like, okay. And I was like, well, can I put up a Facebook status? This seems really unofficial. He was like, do whatever you gotta do. And I was like, all right, well, I'm a motherfucking Hindu. He was like, don't do that. And I was like, okay. All right. So, you know, it's cool, like, being Hindu now. I'm still learning a lot about the religion. I think I'm going to get rid of him but still keep that. I don't know if I can do that. You can, yeah, I figured, like, why not? I'm there. I already have a favorite god. Like, that's what most people know about Hinduism. There's a lot of gods. So my favorite god, he's a dude with a bunch of arms and legs, and he plays the flute. He could probably beatbox too. I don't know. But he just looks very efficient and granted all of my wishes. Unlike the dude on the cross, who's not even the right color. So I was like, yeah, we're doing well already. But my aunt is super Catholic. I come from a family that's like, I mean, they're super Catholic in the sense that they go to church and they judge you, but like not like in their real actions. I'm sure we all have these family members. And my aunt, she must have seen my Facebook status because she called me big mad. So bad. She was so upset. She was just like, Ayanna, I cannot believe you gave up your God for a man. And I said, I didn't give it up for a man. I gave it up for health insurance. Bitch, keep up. Jesus was not trying to come up off that Blue Cross Blue Shield. But Krishna showed right the fuck up, so here we are. You guys have been fun. Thank you for supporting sick people. Wherever you are.